This is the CCS 800 Swiss Crocodile. The box date code shows that it was produced in 1951, but we'll see in a second that this crocodile is a little bit special in terms of dating. So we'll open up the box. This is the red diamond pattern. Some people call it bicycle box. That started in the early 50s. Previous versions of the early versions of the crocodile have the dark gray box. So we open it up. We have the original instruction sheet. And let's see the print code on that. It's TN 1951. So it matches the same year as the box. And we can interpret this print code TN using toy Marklin. T stands for 1, and Marklin is the last letter in the series. So there were about over 10,000 of these printed originally for capital T. So moving on, we have the original cardboard insert for protection. We even have the wax paper. This is original, not a reproduction from Italy. It's very thin and light. The Italian replicas are darker and thicker. And this is the first crocodile I've ever seen with additional wax paper on each of the legs. This is the only one I've ever seen it, and it definitely came from the factory like this, but so many of them were lost. So there's one wax paper, and here's the second. You can see it has even notches in it from where the crocodile has notches. The original wooden insert with the green felt. And so we'll take the crocodile out. And here she is. Now what's interesting about this one, it is fairly high gloss, and so it has shellac on it. And the body, the middle housing does match each leg. The legs are a little bit more glossy, but overall they do match pretty well. It is an olive green. It's a little bit darker compared to the earlier versions. It has the copper-tipped pantographs, which is also for version 5. But what's interesting is it came with the silver inscription, which was designated right after the gold inscription here. And so according to Kohl's, this would be from 1954, but we saw from the box that everything else dates from 1951. So perhaps from the factory, they put a later housing and assembled it in 1954, because everything else is dating to the early version, including the pickup shoes with the flat tongue sliders. Everything else is the earlier version. And here you can see the couplers are the earlier loop couplers. I believe that's type 4.1 or 4.2, the Bügelkupplung. And the early style pantographs with the copper tips. So it's definitely a locomotive that I would call all original. You can't get much more mint than even including the wax wrapping. But there's something interesting with the middle housing, because that really should be gold if it were all from 51 to 53, but for some reason it has the silver inscription, so kind of a unique piece here. So that concludes our look at this interesting crocodile. Definitely not the earliest one, but in incredible original condition. And we'll put it up on the box here with the pantographs. And just incredible locomotive with a really great original shellac to it that gives it a really great shine. And that's all for this video. In the next video, we'll do a quick run of this locomotive around the tracks.